Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with the 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. So this is the new generation Subaru Forester, which debuted, I want to say a couple years ago. I think it was maybe last year. But this is with the new Wilderness package, which debuted on the Outback last year. I'll try to link to that video review down below. So, same sort of upgrades to this that we saw on the Outback, most prominent of which are the copper tones that are added throughout, and also a few changes to suspension and other stuff. We'll go over all of that, so check it out. Okay, so this Forester has a 2.5 liter horizontally opposed engine, boxer engine, which Subaru is very well known for. Puts out 182 horsepower, 170 something, I think it's 176 pound-feet of torque. It's a nice engine, just about the right size for this vehicle. It's not too big, not too small, just about the right size. Fuel economy is 26 miles a gallon combined. That's with the CVT, continuously variable transmission, and it's just nicely done, right? All-wheel drive is standard, of course, because again, it's Subaru. So other than that, there aren't really any other changes. The Wilderness package, the only thing you're going to be seeing from right there that is standard on the Wilderness package are the slight changes to those roof rails. We'll see more of that when we look at the side profile, and this glare strip on the hood, which of course keeps the sun glare off while you're out and about. I got a little bit of mud on this just to get it to where I am. It's wintertime in Wyoming, and there's really no avoiding mud, which is, I mean, great, right? Let's check out the sides. So from the side here, you're seeing the classic Forester in the current generation, the classic Forester profile. The Forester, in most people's minds, and this is mostly accurate, is a boxier, larger version of the Outback. And that's pretty much true. The Outback has more of a wagon style, so it's a little more swooped on the roof. It's a little bit shorter in overall body height and all of those things. So the Forester is the more SUV of the group, and it has lots of interior space, tons of it. There's 69 cubic feet of cargo when you fold down the front seats. We'll talk about the interior in a little bit. Right now I want to look at this side profile and show you the lines and what it's doing, and then also I'll just walk in so you can get a little perspective. And this is where most of the Wilderness package stuff will become obvious. So for the lines, you can see it's pretty straightforward Subaru stuff. Big hump here in order to create a bigger fender from the front profile, but not a bulbous one from the side. So that's a cool design element. It flattens out the hood and accentuates the fact that that is a boxer, not a standard standing upright engine, which, again, Subaru thing. On the Wilderness package, you can see these are beefier here. This is beefier here. From the front, you can't tell as much, but from the side, you can see how much thicker and heavier that is. The rocker panels down there, also much heavier, and then they add those accents to make them, so you can see those little bubbles on the bottom to make them look tougher. And then you can see the Wilderness package emblem right here. You can see the copper notes up there, and then if you're looking really close, look underneath it. That's I believe it's 9.2 inches of ground clearance. Standard on this, I believe, is 8.6. I'll fix those numbers on the screen if I'm wrong. And that is a big difference. Slightly beefier suspension in order to make that happen. Otherwise, as far as I know, the all-wheel drive system is exactly the same, but it's a Subaru all-wheel drive, the symmetrical, and it doesn't need to be changed. It's very, very good for most of the stuff you're going to be doing with a vehicle like this. So there's a large portion of the changes, and then I just want to talk about some of these body lines. Let's look at some of this design here. There's a line that starts right about here and goes underneath that mirror and all the way across to create the belt line. Right underneath that is another line right here that runs underneath the door handle, and then on top of that door handle to swoop up following this line. That creates multiple light shelves, which make a lot of accent when you're driving. So the color on this car will matter. Honestly, if I were buying, I would avoid the white color because you will not see those light shelves very much at all. The black color you will a little bit, but not as much as you will with like this blue, which is kind of a signature Subaru color, and with the reds that you can get this in. So those colors will show that off a whole lot better. But the panels from here down are pretty flat. Which is why the interior has so much room. The doors are flat and sticking out, which allows means the door won't impede on the interior, which means more overall interior room. And then you can see the greenhouse shape. Pretty classic Forester. It's been like this probably since the beginning. It's more or less had that same design. And then those roof rails, those are functioning roof rails. Those roof rails are, well, you can see the copper, almost golden caps on them. That copper color carries throughout, so you see it down there on the Forester emblem. You see it on the inside with stitching and the wilderness tags and other stuff that's in there, the floor mats and so on. That's part of the package. So overall, really cool shape. I really like the look of this. It's simple without being totally boring, and that's a hard line to walk. So let's look at the working end and then we'll get inside. So back here in the cargo space, I got my camera bag and stuff, but you can see part of the Forester package are rubber floor mats, and I believe this cargo cover is separate. But there's a lot of nice little things happening back here. First, it's a it's a big storage space. I have to lean to reach all the way through. And then you have these grocery tie downs. There's 4 of those. There's these levers you can pull that drop those middle row seats down, the second row seats down, so that you can immediately load things. Used that the other day when I was loading lumber. I just grabbed the button there and popped it, and boom, there's the seat, right? Let me slide things under. And yeah, just a nice square opening too. So it's just easy to get things in and out of here. It's just about the right height for people to do that. This is a variable space up here, so or variable height, which means you can have it open lower if you're in a short garage or something, and then open to this height so that somebody like me at 6'3" can still stand underneath it. Pretty cool. So a couple of things to note. This does not have a tow package on it, but you can tow with this. I don't know what the rating is offhand, so I'll put it on the screen. And I think that's it. Oh, and there's tie downs in every corner. They pop out from the wall. I probably should have mentioned those. So, cool. So back here in the back seat, I have pretty good leg room actually. This is set for me at 6'3", and I have tons of knee room left, more than 3 inches. Pretty comfortable on the outboards, the middle not so much, but that's kind of normal. You have lots of interesting storage. There are double pockets back here, so you can actually put multiple things in these seat backs. There's some USBs in this model and a few other things. Headroom is a little iffy. The only reason I don't have a lot of headroom, I'm actually barely touching the top when I sit up, is because this has the large sunroof. If it didn't have that sunroof, I would have more headroom in here. So that's an FYI for those that are maybe shopping and packaging. If you have tall people that are going to be sitting in the back, you're probably going to want to avoid getting that sunroof if you can. Otherwise, very nicely done and comfortable back here. Let's talk about the front. Okay, so up front here, it's a nice layout. I really like the way this feels. You see the little gold, maybe I think you can see it here, the copper, and it just kind of carries throughout. It's not overdone, so you don't see it like everywhere. You just see it every so often as you look around. Infotainment in this has the standard infotainment that is for, well, it's standard across as the base model for the Forester. So it's the smaller screen, not the huge screen. Nice screen though. I really do like the way it responds. It's very quick and very crisp and easy to read no matter what the lighting is. Then you have the second screen, which is kind of a Subaru layover. That's going away in newer models. So you won't see that. That's not in the new WRX, for example. So that extra screen is going away. That information is being replaced on a much larger screen that's right here. This has really good climate control. It's dual zone. This has just a nice kind of a general layout and comfort level. Okay, so that's it for the 2022 Subaru Forester with the Wilderness package. Again, I really like this package. It makes it look much more robust. It adds a few functional things that you wouldn't get otherwise, and it's just overall a really good package. I liked it on the Outback. I really like it on this. I think it's a great thing. I think the way that Subaru's been going, I suspect that we will now see this package next year on the Crosstrek. And then hopefully that's the last of them, because I really don't think that this package belongs on the WRX, the STI, or the BRZ. But on those, I think it would fit. I don't think it would fit on the Legacy. The Legacy's more of a everyday car, not something you really take off-road. But I could see it on these three SUVs for sure. So really cool to see it on this one. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got. 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.